how to manage your time and get more done. You've heard me say this on the show before, wake up an hour earlier, go to sleep an hour later. But what if that's not a possibility? Maybe life is complicated for you. You've got a lot of different things that you're doing and that's not possible. I'm gonna tell you how to get more done in the same amount of time that you're awake today. First idea I want to point out to you is this, is that time is money. You've heard that expression before, time is money. And if you start to think this in a literal way, start to imagine yourself using your time as if you're using your money. So if you saw a rich person walk down the street and throw out $100 bills, you would think that person is crazy. Now, you've worked really hard to save up for this very special thing called time, discretionary time. And then when you get it, usually collected on the weekends and sometimes after work, how do you spend that time? And if you start to think about it just like the way you use money, you may start to make different decisions. We have to realize no matter if you're rich or you're poor, time is a non-renewable resource. This is it. We're all given a very finite amount of time. We don't know when we're going to expire, another word for dying. We don't know when that's going to happen. So we have to act as if. We have to take advantage of every single moment of every single day and live it as if it were our last. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you guys a yellow Post-it note that will represent 1 hour of time. Now, what I want you to do, I'm going to instruct you before giving this to Ricky, is I want you to write down all the tasks that you do in 60-minute chunks. Now, if you'd like to break one of your 1 hour chunks into two 30-minute chunks, I will gladly exchange you for 2 blue ones. Okay, so you have a 30-minute task and then you have 60-minute tasks. I want you to write down how you spend your day, okay? Okay, so there we are. That's what the snapshot looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, we've learned nothing just yet. We've learned nothing. This exercise was just for us to kind of record what we think we do. So the next prompt I'm going to give you, what camera am I looking at? That camera? The next prompt I'm going to give you is this, is for you to actually then tomorrow, with a piece of paper when you wake up, start recording how you spend your time in 30-minute chunks.
Okay.
Now, the act of you recording yourself will change what you actually do. So this is how athletes work. Mm-hmm. This is how bodybuilders work. They measure and record every single thing.
You're viewing your footage.
You're recording it because once you start to become aware of it, you start to make different decisions because you know somebody's watching you. Now, I want you to think about something that you want to accomplish, because I told you at the beginning of this episode, or I'm going to teach you how to get more done in the exact same amount of time. I want you to think about something you want to accomplish in the next couple of weeks. Let's try to do a 2-week sprint. It could be a 4-week sprint. It could be a half-year goal. I don't really care. Just think about that thing, okay? Okay, so Peter, did you figure out what you want to do in the next 2 weeks?
I want to create content, YouTube video.
Great. You want to create a YouTube video, right? What kind of YouTube video?
Educational one. I want to teach a concept that I know.
Okay.
Or
and
teach something I'm learning, yeah.
Have you made YouTube videos before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So I'm going to leave your goal over here off to the side so we don't confuse our audience, okay? You want to do 1 YouTube video per week. I also now want you to take the Post-its and write down the tasks that you have to do. So get really granular if you can. So you probably want to use the blue one. You might have to research, you might have to write, you produce, shoot, edit, do posts, do all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Whatever you need, however much time you need. If it's 1 hour, 10 hours, whatever you want, okay? So we're gonna put this one back in here. So you wanna do 1 YouTube video. So you have a total of 16 hours, right?
Yeah.
Now, how much time are you, go ahead and add your new task on. To be able to create 1 YouTube video a week, what do you have to do?
All right, so I have to write the script, create the idea list.
Yeah.
Then I have to prioritize the video ideas.
Okay. In 1 day, how much time do you have to dedicate? Because let's say it's a 5-hour work week.
Yeah.
You have 5x. How much time do you have to do all this stuff? How much time do you need?
Every day?
No, like total. And then we'll just divide it by 5.
Oh, total? I counted 10.
10. So you need to put it 2 more hours.
2 hours every day.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do.
Okay, cool.
So
let's do that.
You can take all these things, move them to the side. I'm going to give you 2-hour pieces, and I'm going to do it like this. This is perfect. Okay, so you're going to need to write, produce, and edit video. Okay? And we're just going to write 2 of these things.
All right.
Okay? That seems about a reasonable amount of time.
That's
2
fair.
hours
That's
a day,
fair.
right? So write, produce, write that again. Write, produce, edit, video. So the granular steps, I'm glad you mapped it out. Now you know. Okay, now you too have to eliminate 2 hours from your day. You have a lot of room to give up. So go ahead and transfer these over, and we should be able to see 2 hours down here. So after auditing his time, he's come up with a new goal, something that he wants to accomplish because he wants to get more done in the week. So he's going to transfer these things over and start to make the hard decision of where he's going to spend his time that's going to contribute to his overall goals. So you cut away an hour's worth of YouTube videos and an hour of video games. Did this hurt you?
Not really.
Why don't you cut more then?
I want to, but I don't know if that's realistic.
So it did hurt you.
Well,
you play 3 hours of video games a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But I feel guilty doing it, so it was really easy for me. Like, I know I should, and if I'm like kind of forced to do it with a plan, then I'm like, I can. But realistically, if I took off one more chunk of an hour, I don't know if I could do it. I would like to, but.
Now, I'm going to share a personal story with you. I used to play video games quite avidly. Like, I would spend probably at least 2 hours a day playing video games, whether it's Halo, Call of Duty, or whatever other video game, Skyrim. I was playing a lot of video games. And here's how my life has evolved. Once I started getting really serious about the future, I cut out video games entirely. I don't play video games at all. I have a brand new PlayStation 4 sitting in the box with the video game that I want to play, and it's still in the box. My son from time to time was like, Dad, are we gonna set that up? I'm like, no, we're not gonna set that up, because as soon as I set up, I'm going to feel like I have to play it, and I don't wanna play it right now. These are the choices we have to make. On the one hand, we say to ourselves and to people we care about, we want to accomplish some goal. But then when it comes to the action and the follow through, we're not willing to give up any of the things that we like for the things that we need. So when you add in the thing that you want to do, you're going to have to give up something. How did this process feel for you?
I think in the back of my mind, everything that I did, I was very aware of how much time it took away from the things I really did need to do. But because I go through my life, like I just go through my life, right? I don't really think about it. I'm not very aware of it until you put it all out here, and then you kind of see it. And then once you actually take the challenge to dedicate 2 extra hours towards doing work, that's when I'm kind of like, okay, it might be easier to take this off now, because 1, it's a challenge and I like them. And 2, it's easier when you put everything out and visually see it.
I want you to start acting, thinking, and behaving as if time is money. Time is money, and be literal about it. It's an investment. You put your time into things that pay off for you, for your life goals, your career, your personal goals, your relationship goals, your spiritual goals, whatever it is, spend that time very wisely and be frugal. Next thing is, we have to understand, and this is a quote I found, being busy is the biggest distraction from living. So we're all kind of running around trying to keep up with what we have to do. We don't take a moment to ask ourselves, is this important? Is this contributing to my life? Because you have to remember, we all have a finite amount. We're all going to expire one day, and you need to squeeze the most from every day that you have, okay? Another idea about this is just a different idea. This is kind of like from Bronnie Ware, like don't die living someone else's dream. So this is tied to this idea that we're busy doing something. If you're going to school, pursuing a degree that you don't love, you are busy living somebody else's dream. And then you're going to come to me when you're 35, 45 years old and say, I've just discovered I want to be a creative person, Chris. What do I do? So if you haven't done so, go back and watch the episode when we did How to Do What You Love, the Ikigai exercise. Do that first and make sure it's for you. This is really important, okay? I really believe in this. You have one life to live, one shot to do what it is that makes you really happy, and you need to find that thing. The sooner the better, because that means you have more time to invest in that, okay? What we want to do also is consolidate the largest amount of free time possible. And this is directly lifted from The Effective Executive from Peter Drucker. This is from Jim Rohn. Don't major in the minors. This is a very, very cool way to remember this concept, in that we make a major effort to achieve minor things in our lives. So right now, you may be doing something that seems like it's really important, and you're putting a lot of time and energy into it because there's a looming deadline, there's a fire that you feel like you have to put out, there's somebody barking in your ear, in your face, telling you all the time you need to do this thing, and it's actually not going to add up to much. So don't major in the minors. And how do you do that? You have to say no to almost everything. You have to be the thriftiest person when it comes to spending your time. I hope you found this whiteboard session to be helpful to you. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. Remember one thing, you're not defined by the past. The future is what you make it. I'm out here. Peace.